Incredible. I love the work that is happening on the ground that, of course, will infiltrate into our future. Now, speaking of this past weekend, we celebrated the first South African podcast and music festival, and that was held at the Red Roman Shed at Emperor's Palace out in Johannesburg. Now, South Africa's top podcasters came together under one roof for an incredible weekend filled with captivating discussions. Not only that, there were live performances and just endless inspiration. Upcoming podcasters got the opportunity to get up close and personal with their favorite podcasters and take notes too on how to monetize their passion in this fast-growing platform. There were so many great faces that Harmony got to chat to, including DJ Spoo and Gareth Cliff. Let's have a watch.
We're here at the first ever South African Podcast and Music Festival, where conversations and creativity collide. Now, the festival promises to bring us incredible performances. Some of South Africa's top musicians and also some of South Africa's top podcasters. What can you expect here? Well, amazing interactive workshops, insightful, incredible discussions by some of the greatest individuals in the media industry here in South Africa, and also some amazing live performances. But don't just take it from me. Let's go and see. We're here with a gentleman who needs no introduction. He is an extraordinary entrepreneur. Welcome, DJ Spoo. Today is clearly a massive success. Can you tell me, what was the idea behind the South African Podcast and Music Festival?
The podcast culture is growing in South Africa. It's growing all over the continent, all over the world. And there is no longer a barrier to entry for young people to start broadcasting. Back in the day, we used to have demo tapes, and we only had a few options for us to get our opportunities to broadcast. Whether it was Metro or the SABC radio stations, it was very difficult to get in. But right now, a young person just get themselves whatever phone, get Wi-Fi, and start broadcasting. And that is podcasting. You can even do a monologue podcast where you just speak to camera like this. You can get your sibling, your friend, you can get celebrities or guests or whatever it is niche that you're choosing to podcast under. So that's what inspired the idea to open ways and lower the barrier to entry for young people to get into this broadcasting space. We are a storytelling continent. We'll have stories as Africans, and the storytelling culture has evolved into podcasting. It's blowing up all over the world. So why not start organizing festivals like these? And at a later stage, I'm starting to see podcast awards. I'm just seeing this thing blow up and become even bigger.
The festival is looking like quite a success. Why did you see it important for you to partner with the South African Podcast and Music Festival?
Oh, we're very excited. So, you know, SABC Plus is our new baby. It was introduced about 2 years ago because of the adoption, the digital adoption in the country, the change of viewing patterns. You know, people view content on their devices everywhere. So we came out with the SABC Plus brand to make sure that people can watch our content on their handsets. And so far, we're close to about 1 million subscribers so far. And what's important about SABC Plus is it's for free, right? So the only cost really is the data. So in building this SABC Plus brand, we wanted to identify events that speaks of the innovation, that aligns with the digital adoption, and that demonstrates that SABC Plus as a standalone brand is one that supports, you know, digital innovation and disruption, which is what podcast is doing.
What are some of the keys that you would give to podcasters, those who are in the industries and those who are just starting?
I think, to be perfectly honest, you must do one of two things. You must either do something that no one else is doing, especially if you're launching your own podcast. It doesn't matter how small or big that audience might be, but something nobody else is doing. Or, and because that's becoming difficult, it's more and more people are doing podcasting, or do it better than anyone else.
So podcasting and music is all about expressing what's on the inside of you and also just sharing a story that you want to share. Where does authenticity play a role here?
Well, authenticity is probably the highest level and order that we can all strive for, because authenticity is about first accepting who you are, second celebrating who you are, and sharing who you are. And the challenge that we have as Africans is because much of who we are has been imposed on us. As a result, we are narrators or repeaters of a history we found. Authenticity is about understanding your history, who you are, where you come from, and telling that story confidently. I think it's important to be authentic. It's about who you are, it's accepting who you are.
You've created a phenomenal platform here. How do we support it going forward?
Well, let me say, if you didn't get a chance to come through now, it's winter. The next one is happening on the 30th of November. And it's going to keep growing because we're going to keep doing them in different provinces all over the country. How you support it is by subscribing to these podcasters. Whether it's a young podcaster, whether it's an established person, but if you find content that speaks to you, subscribe to it and just watch it and just share your views, comment, or share the podcast or the links to your own community as well, and start your own podcast as well. You can even become a YouTuber. We're in a new era now, and young people are changing their lives using all of this stuff. Others, we've seen them. They're using their TikToks, they're sharing their skills there, they're posting videos, and now they've become influencers. They get invited to places, they're starting to get paid, and they're becoming brands in their own right. So there's various ways now on how a lot of other young people out there can take advantage of this internet thing to change their lives.
Wow, that is beautiful, man. Thank you so much for everything you and your team have done here. So congratulations on the first ever South African Podcast and Music Festival.
Thank you very much, my brother.
And there you have it, the first ever edition of the South African Podcast and Music Festival right here in Johannesburg, where we have the conversations and creativity collide so beautifully. We brought you some of South Africa's top podcasters and, of course, some of the top musicians right here, encouraging you, inspiring you, and educating you, letting you know that this industry is blowing up and you can be a part of it. Now, of course, something this beautiful cannot happen without a celebration at the end of it all. So allow me to go and party.